Let's take you live to Alan Joyce now. He is the Qantas CEO. Qantas has posted a profit, an underlying
5% less CO2 emissions. We know that electric and hydrogen aircraft are a long way off, especially for the very long distances that we fly. That's why we're investing in sustainable aviation fuel, which cuts life cycle emissions by up to 80% compared with fossil fuels. When you consider the importance of air travel in this country, Australia is a prime candidate to develop its own sustainable fuel industry. That's the conversation we're having with governments around the country with some urgency, and we welcome the federal government's commitment to a SAF industry council that meets for the first time next week. Now, we know that cost of living is an issue across the economy at the moment, and we know airfares are part of that discussion. Fares are up about 20% in Australia compared to 2021, and by similar amounts in key markets like the United States and in Europe. The main drivers of this are the price of fuel, which is up 65% compared to 2019 levels. And the imbalance between supply and demand, airlines are struggling to keep up with a tremendous level of passenger demand. And as we get up to speed, and that has pushed prices up, especially in peak times for last-minute travel. Fares will keep trending down as more airlines can unlock capacity, which relies on things like supply chain for aircraft, labour availability, and training pipelines. For Qantas, we started adding more flying back in January and have another significant step up in March of this year. There are also a lot of cheap airfares in the market, especially when you book well in advance. Qantas Domestic has currently more than 2 million fares under $200 in the market for the year ahead. And this year, the Jetstar Group will offer more than 10 million fares across its network for under $100. So it's been a long and frankly difficult journey to get where we are today. But thanks to our people, our customers, our shareholders, we're here. Our high service standards are back. Capacity is recovering. We're hiring again. And because we've returned to profit, we're able to invest in the great business for the long term. So thank you, and we'll now open it to your questions.
Mr. Joyce, hang on. I do apologise. Sorry, Hugh Riminton from Channel 10. Obviously, in all forms of business at the moment, people are trying to assess what is going to be consumer behaviour in the months ahead as interest rates continue to rise. What's your assessment from the point of view of your business as to whether there's going to be a steep fall-off in demand?
So what we're seeing is actually no relentless reduction in forward booking demand across the board. We're seeing the leisure market being particularly strong. We're seeing the corporate market recovering at the pre-pandemic levels as more people come back to the office. And we're seeing the small and medium-sized enterprise market being exceptionally strong as well. And what the research is telling us is that while people are looking at discretionary spending and looking at areas to cut back on given rising interest rates and inflation, what they are doing is prioritising air travel and experiences over other forms of expenditure. So we have one slide in our investor pack, which is research that we've done of our frequent flyers for the next 12 months. And interestingly, it shows that a net increase of 33% of our frequent flyers wanting to spend more on air travel for the next 12 months internationally and over 30% domestically. But at the same time, they're cutting back on things like alcohol, things like home purchases. So they are prioritising within what they expend on. So far, we see no relenting of the strong demand, and that's why we're keen to get capacity back in the air. We're also seeing air prices moderating. We have gone on sale today with a 1 million seat sale across our network. Airfares as low as $39 on Jetstar between Sydney and the Gold Coast, Melbourne to Sydney. We have seen airfares below $99 on Qantas and some amazing international airfares. Jetstar is selling roughly around $200 to Honolulu, to Bali, to Phuket, under $200 to New Zealand. So that's what's going to happen as we get more and more capacity in the air. And because of our sale, our competitors have gone on sale today. Virgin have added 250,000 seats. Bonds have gone on a sale as well. So this is competition in real time. And I think it's great for the Australian consumers that those low-value airfares are coming back onto the market for people to get out there and have the holiday that they deserve after COVID.
Alan, Chris Reason from Channel 7. I mean, everybody wants to see an Australian company do well. Congratulations on the profits today. But there is white-hot fury out there about the prices Qantas has been charging for its tickets. What do you say to customers who've had to endure those prices and have felt really, really angry about having to pay them? You say the market sets the prices. Well, they say you set the prices and they're forced to pay them. What do you say to those customers?
Well, first of all, Qantas has unbelievable competition compared to any Australian company out there. We have 56 carriers we compete against internationally. I don't think there's many companies in Australia that could say there's that level of direct competition against us. We have now 4 domestic jet airlines operating. We've never had that level of competition today. And as you can see today, when we put low airfare out there, our competition does. That's a competitive market working. And what we are seeing is as we add capacity back in, fares are moderating, which is what we said. I will say Qantas does charge more than other airlines. In the domestic market, as an example, it charges more than Jetstar because you get more value with Qantas in other areas. And it's all about value. And a lot of customers will pay that extra to have access to 51 lounges around the world, the best lounges in the world. To have access to that network, which is the best network operated by any Australian carrier, to have access to the frequent flyers, to get free food on board, to get baggage included in their airfares, to get free Wi-Fi and high-speed Wi-Fi, the only airline to do that. So you have to look at value in total, not just the airfare. And there's plenty of competition. Qantas cannot dictate the airfares in the market. Nobody was saying that before COVID. Nobody should be saying it now because we don't. We have so much competition. But we will charge a premium for the Qantas product.
Can you promise us we won't have to pay $900 one way to Melbourne again, Sydney, Melbourne? That was ridiculous. You must admit that.
So at the moment, you've got airfares that are $39 on Jetstar going from Melbourne to Sydney. Let me talk about value for money for that. To get an Uber from the city centre, which is 8 kilometres to the airport, that is the same price. And that's 8 kilometres compared to flying people 800 kilometres. So let's really talk about value for money that's out there. Airfares are unbelievable value for money. Qantas, Jetstar offers phenomenal airfares out there. Look at the cost of other components of a trip and you'll see that the airfares still are amazing value for it. Now, are there going to be peak times when airfares are high? Are there going to be peak times when there's huge amount of demand? Yes, but that happens with your Uber, that happens with your hotels, that happens all across the economy in so many different other things. But are there cheap airfares out there? Amazingly, they are. This today is the 9th major sale that we've done in the last 6 months. We have 10 million, I mentioned it there, 10 million airfares for Jetstar on sale below $100 for the next year. We have 2 million airfares for Qantas on sale for under $200 out there. Nobody can claim that's not value for money. That's amazing value for money.